Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session on Develop AI Agent with Semantic Kernel. So today we had Janardhan S, who is a senior specialist at Evident, and he is a Microsoft MVP and also an MCT on Microsoft AI. And he is going to be taking us through the session and on how to be doing this. Before that, I just wanted to mention that the session is recorded. You don't need to record it at your end. And secondly, there is certificate of participation. So you need to fill out the form to be in order to receive that. So make sure you fill out that form at the end of the session. And we'll also be sharing some of the links, that is resources, and also our community links where you can join and participate in our upcoming sessions and trainings on security and fundamentals, and also in intra-ID and networking. So these sessions are coming up. If you are interested to be joining, make sure you join our community to get the link to the session. That is all from my side, and the session can continue with Janardhan.
Hey, thank you so much, Surak, for the introduction part. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
So thanks everyone for joining in and you're taking time, especially on Saturday, to learn about how we are going to develop the AI agents with the help of the semantic kernel framework. Okay. So before I want to kickstart the today's session, let's discuss about what I'm going to discuss during this part of this complete session. And I'll talk about the overall semantic kernel framework. Using semantic kernel framework, how to develop an agent using C#.NET language. So that I'm going to discuss as part of today's discussion. So before I kickstart the session, this is about me. So I am Janardhan and Selvaraj. I am a Microsoft MVP in the AI category. And also I'm a Microsoft community lead as well for the entire India region, especially the location Chennai. For the Chennai location, I'm the MCT lead. And also I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. And if any questions related to generative AI, also the agentic AI, feel free to reach out to my LinkedIn handle. This is my LinkedIn handle. And I used to post videos related to the technology updates as well as the hackathon challenges and internship opportunities on my YouTube handle. You can check out those videos on my YouTube handle. And I'm a speaker as well as I'm a blogger. I used to contribute articles in C Sharp corner page. You can check out my articles as well. So let's get started for today's discussion. So today's discussion is about the evolution of artificial intelligence agents and the how this agentic AI is going to evolve as part of creating the AI agents, and what are the various components to make your AI agents. And we'll discuss about the semantic kernel framework and the corresponding various layers of endpoints, and how to build your agent with the help of semantic kernel, what are the different types of plugins there in the semantic kernel, and also we'll discuss about the usage of prompt, template, and persona in your semantic kernel. So this is about our today's agenda. The very first one is the evolution of AI agents. So it's all started with the initial chatbot. If I want to communicate between the human being as well as the machine, we use one of the important service as part of the Microsoft ecosystem as concern is Azure Bot Framework. Using Azure Bot Framework, you can build your own conversational AI assistants or a AI chatbot with the help of Azure Bot services. Then later on, the chatbots, the conversational chatbot, or the traditional chatbot, it is elevated to the RAG pattern, which is a retriever augmented generation. So when it comes to the AI companion or AI assistance, what will happen? Sometimes your knowledge base may not be updated and you will be getting the hallucination problem. So in order to prevent your hallucination problem, we will be using the pattern known as retriever augmented generation, where you will be able to ground the data to the real time. That is your RAG pattern. From RAG pattern, it is elevated to the Copilot platform. So using the Copilot platform, if I want to complete any particular manual task or any repetitive work you are being doing for many days, in order to automate it, we will be using the Copilot as a major platform. So from Copilot, it is now elevated to the autonomous agents or fully autonomous agents. The fully autonomous agents, if you want to respond to any human queries or as any type of task you want to perform it with a minimal human intervention, you can go for the fully autonomous agents with respect to your Copilot Studio as concerned. So that's how the evolution started from chatbot. Now it is elevated towards your fully autonomous agents. So from this fully autonomous agent, you should aware about what is this agentic AI about. So we know already the generative AI. If I say generative AI, the generative AI is used to develop a new type of content generation. It could be a text, images, audio, video. But when it comes to the agentic AI, it is a new frontier of the generative AI platform. And this particular agentic AI, where you are able to build any type of AI system which is going to act autonomously with the minimal human intervention. And you will be able to take the decisions, also the actions at a larger scale and without compromising your task. The agentic AI will plays a vital role in adapting the overall platform, overall environment. It is able to adapt it. So that's how the agentic AI is nowadays is more popular when it comes to the implementation as concerned. And there are several options in order to build your agentic AI development. So there are frameworks like Semantic Kernel is available. You have an Autogen framework that we will be discussing as part of what are the various options in order to build your semantic kernel with the help of your this platform. And if you notice what is AI agent or what is an agent first of all. So agent, it is the one of the major component where you will be able to build an applications. And if I want to automate any particular task or else if you want to automate any workflow, you will be using the agent. So agent will be acting as a smart microservices. So why agent is acting as a smart microservices is with the minimal human intervention, you can build any type of applications. Also, how you are going to automate the complete workflow with the help of your agent. And this agent is getting the overall sources where it has been deriving is it has been deriving from the various platform, and also it is background, it is using the generative AI model, the overall agentic AI framework which is going to rely on it. Okay, so any particular AI agent, if I started using it, the backbone of the agentic AI framework is you will be using a generative AI application or a generative AI model, which is there in the background. And it is going to use a variety of your data sources. You can take it. The data source can be a Bing search, grounding data with the Bing search, or it could be a code interpreter, or even it could be any form of a CSV file, PDF file, all type of applications, or even your custom tools, custom options. You can bring your own data from your Microsoft Fabric platform as well. So these are the various data sources where agent is actually getting the input data. And in that case, what are the various components of this agents? If you notice the various components of this agent, so we will be using one of the major service in your Azure platform. The name of the service which is known as the Azure AI Foundry. Previously, it is known as Azure AI Studio. Now we can call it as Azure AI Foundry. In this Azure AI Foundry, we have an extensive ecosystem of tools, also a set of actions also possible. So when it comes to the tools, we have knowledge tools available as well as action tools available. So what are the knowledge tool options we have? We have Bing search, we have a Fabric, we have a SharePoint, or it could be a local file, or it could be code interpreter, or it could be a Azure AI search or any file search. So these are the set of tools which is used for your knowledge tools. And there are tools which we can use it as an action tools. We are having Azure Functions, which is a serverless computing, and your no code application, which is your Azure Logic app, and the specified tools which are related to OpenAI 3.0. So these are the set of tools which are related to action. So the overall, if you observe, the agent is comprises of tools, and the tools which is turned into action, or it could be knowledge. And the second important stuff, if you notice, when it comes to your agent component is model catalog. So almost in the Azure AI Foundry, if you notice that there are 1,897 models are available in the model catalog. Okay, let me show you the model catalog in the Azure AI Foundry. So in the Azure AI Foundry, we have an extensive set of generative AI models, including the Azure OpenAI platform, the latest GPT 4.5. So all type of models are exist as part of the model catalog. So the model catalog closed, it contains 1,898 models are available till to date. So this is also one of the major component when it comes to the agent as concerned. And the second and the third component, if you notice, when it comes to the agent, it is you will be able to bring your own data in terms of file storage, or it could be your enhanced observability in terms of your monitoring tools, or it could be a bring your own data related to your search index. So these are the components we will be using as part of the agent as concerned. Then how this agent actually works? Okay. So the agent, ideally it is working with the help of the platform known as the Azure AI Agent Service. In the Azure AI Agent Service, we have close to three important components are present. It could be an actions, it could be a models, as well as it could be your knowledge tools. So these three components are interconnected to your Azure AI agent services, and user is going to hit a particular query to a particular agent. So here, what type of agent are we building? In the sense, we will be building the travel booking agents, where you need to book a trip to New York from the user, and he's going to travel various cities and the rest of the preferences. For this, we are requesting a travel booking agent. A travel booking agent is ideally we used to create the components which are typically from the agent framework. So for this agent framework, we were using multiple development frameworks like we have Azure AI agent services where you can deploy this model in the Azure AI Foundry itself. And the second one is two important framework. One is the Autogen framework. The Autogen framework is used for only for the experiential learning purpose, not for the production ready applications. If you want to build any production ready applications, then you can make use of the semantic kernel. So we will be talking about semantic kernel in this session. And in order to build any type of multi-agent system, you can use either an Autogen framework, or else you can build your semantic kernel framework. And single agent system, if you want to build it, it is easy to build with the help of your Azure AI Foundry itself, because under the Azure AI Foundry, we have a service known as the Azure Agent AI service. In the Azure AI agent service itself, you can build your own services. If I want to create any particular agent in the Azure AI services, you are supposed to use a model first. Okay, you need a model in order to create a Azure AI Foundry. So by in the background, what type of model I'll be using it is GPT-4 was a model I already provisioned it using the Azure AI Foundry. Under this Azure AI Foundry only, we have created the agent service. So till now, the agent service is still in the preview option. It's not general available. So once it is general available, you'll be able to deploy your agent applications to your production ready deployment phase also. So for this, instead of this, what we are going to do is we already provisioned a resource under the Azure AI Foundry service with the help of the semantic kernel frameworks. So what type of framework are we going to discuss? Is semantic kernel framework. I'm going to discuss it. So what is the semantic kernel about? Okay. Semantic kernel, it is an open source SDK. And if I want to build any type of AI agents, then I will be using the framework which is known as semantic kernel. And the semantic kernel in the background, it is calling the large language model with the help of their respective Python code, or it could be a Java code, or it could be a C Sharp code. Any particular code, if you want to call it, in the background of semantic kernel, you'll be able to integrate it. You will be able to deploy such type of various types of languages and framework. So how this has been possible in order to integrate your various languages and various systems, you need to use any one of the action completion with respect to the chat one. Okay, you can use the endpoints related to Azure OpenAI or as OpenAI completion, or even you can use your Gemini completion. So any type of chat completion, you can start using it. So when it comes to the language as concerned, the semantic kernel started supporting Python, your .NET and Java. These are the three popular languages, the semantic kernel, which was supported by it. Then what are the various endpoints? You can create your own chat completion endpoints are. You can create a chat completion endpoint with respect to your Azure OpenAI or as OpenAI chat completion or your Hugging Face chat completion. So these three types of chat completion endpoint you can use with the help of your semantic kernel. And there are three important components of the semantic kernel agent. One of the component is plugin. So when I say plugin, we are having several built-in plugins available where you will be able to retrieve any particular information about a file, about a string, about a mathematical operation, about a time-related plugin. For that particular purpose, we will be using plugin as a concept. And if I want to plan any particular information with the help of your semantic kernel, then use planner as one of the component. And the third component is persona. Persona usages. Once the plugin it is used in your code and you will be able to plan the overall project, there are certain basic system messages if you want to retrieve back or else respond back to the user, you will be using various types of persona. If I'm creating a travel agent, then I'll be creating travel related persona. If I create a finance agent, then the persona will be created related to finance related use cases. So based upon the various types of use cases, you will be able to create your own personas. So this is the architecture of your semantic kernel one. If you notice semantic kernel architecture, the very first one is the language we have to choose when it comes to semantic kernel, whether it is a Java language or .NET language or else your Python language, you have to choose it. How this language we can connect it in your semantic kernel framework with the help of connector. So when I say connector, the connector could be your OpenAI or it could be an Azure OpenAI or it could be your Hugging Face connector. And these connector will internally call the model. And I say the model, we use to deploy a generative AI model in the Azure OpenAI. It could be GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini or O3 mini, GPT 4.5, any type of model we can connect it. Then once it is done, in the plugin section, you can execute any type of plugin. It could be a time plugin, it could be a string manipulation plugin, mathematical operation plugin, or it could be a file related plugin. So any type of plugin you can create inside your semantic kernel framework. Once it is done, in the actions, you can execute the overall operation which you perform in your plugins. It is possible to execute in the triggers and action. So that's how the overall semantic kernel architecture has been evolved. So in order to get or in order to use your semantic kernel in your code application deployment for building your agents, you need three important prerequisites. One is the Azure subscription. Then you require a Azure OpenAI model to be deployed. And the third one is once you are able to deploy an Azure OpenAI model, you should have one of the model deployments. It could be GPT-4o or GPT-4o mini. The higher GPT models, we need to deploy it. So these three prerequisites we require it. Once it is done, so we are going to build our first kernel agent. How to build a first kernel agent? So in order to build your first kernel agent, which package I am going to import is, I'll be importing the Microsoft Semantic Kernel package. I have added it. Okay, with the help of .NET add package, Semantic Kernel, we use this one. The second one is to create a semantic kernel. We use one of the method known as create builder method in order to create a semantic kernel. So under the semantic kernel, the very first one option is you have to create a connector option. So in this connector option, which connector I'm using is add Azure OpenAI chat completion connector option. I'm going to use it. For that, you have to pass a deployment name, your endpoint, your API key, and which model ID. So model ID is optional, but the rest of the three important parameters you need to pass when it comes to Azure OpenAI chat completion. It could be OpenAI chat completion, or it could be Hugging Face chat completion. So any one of the chat completion you can make use when it comes to the kernel building part. Okay. If you want to build any particular kernel inside your add Azure OpenAI chat completion, you have to use the build method to build your kernel. Okay. So build method is highly required in order to build your own kernel object. So I will showcase you in this code. So what I'm done is, so this is the actual project which I have created it. Okay. So in this project, what is the package I have added is the semantic kernel package I have added. And the class name I have created as program is the name of my class. So inside the program class, we have used one of the static method known as main method is my static method, which is the asynchronous static method. So under that, with the help of the create builder method, I'm about to create the kernel object. If I want to create any kernel object, I'd use create builder method. Once the create builder method is done, with the help of this add Azure OpenAI chat completion, I use the connector one. So in this connector one, we are passing three important deployments. One is the deployment name, the API key, and the endpoint. Where these three information I'm going to extract is, I'll be extracting these information from the Azure OpenAI Foundry. In the Azure AI Foundry, go to the models and endpoint where you can deploy your base model, or it could be a fine-tuned model. I have deployed already the GPT model. I have deployed it. Okay. So once the GPT model I have deployed it, then I have to use this particular model, that GPT-4o model I have deployed it, and click this model. There you can find your keys and endpoint. There is a target key and there is an endpoint. This target key, endpoint, and the model name, I have to pass it over here. So the target key, this is the endpoint, this endpoint I used. The API key, this API key. The model deployment name is GPT-4o. Then once it is done, with the help of the build object, kernel build object, I'm using builder.build. This is the object I used. Then I can pass this. And using the invoke prompt async method, I'm passing one of the prompt says that give me a list of breakfast foods with the bread and cheese. And this particular message or the prompt I pass inside the invoke prompt async method. Now it is going to hit the generative AI model. What is the generative AI model? It is going to hit in the sense GPT-4o generative AI model. And it is having the deployment name as well as the key and the endpoint. And this is going to trigger your semantic kernel package. So where I can find my semantic kernel package? you can find the semantic kernel package here. Okay. The semantic kernel package, what I have imported is import semantic kernel, and you can include your version inside your CS project file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute this code. So let me execute this code. .NET run. The name of the program is program because it is a static function. I'm calling through the class name itself. So .NET run program, I'm calling it. So you can see this. So here is the list of breakfast food featuring the bread and cheese. So we got the results. Okay. So this is a way where you can build your own agent with the help of your semantic kernel. It's very simple. So what I have done is I have deployed a resource in the Azure AI Foundry. Inside the Azure AI Foundry, I just created a model known as GPT-4o model. Inside the GPT-4o model, we use the deployment name, endpoint, and key. And with the help of the prompt async invoke method, prompt async method, I just pass the prompt. And using the build object of kernel, you'll be able to find the respective results, and respective results are printed. So there's a way how to build a particular kernel inside your semantic kernel application or agent inside your semantic kernel application. So let's see the list of built-in plugins. What are the list of built-in plugins available? So we have set of built-in plugins available like a conversation summary plugin, file IO plugin, your HTTP plugin, math plugin, text plugin, time plugin, and wait plugin. And if you notice, if I want to summarize the overall conversation, use conversation summary plugin. For the file IO plugin, if I want to read or write any particular file system, then I'll be using file IO plugin. In order to make any particular HTTP request, then use HTTP plugin. For mathematical operations, math plugin. For any type of string manipulation or text manipulation, use text plugin. And for all time related tasks, and if I want to get any time information, I'll be using time plugin. If I want to pass the overall execution for a specific time period, then use wait plugin. So what I will be doing now, I'm going to execute, I will be showing one particular plugin inside this one. So what is the plugin I'm going to show you now is, so I have created a class named as program1 is a class, is a static class. And what is the method name I used is my time as a method name, which is a static method. With the help of create builder object, we are going to create a kernel object. Again, same thing, the add Azure OpenAI chat completion. We passed three parameters. One is the deployment name, API, and endpoint. Since it is the built-in plugin options, we are supposed to import the plugin package. So what is the plugin package I imported is semantic kernel core plugin package. I have imported it. Then inside that, in order to call the plugin, how to call it in a sense, builder is a builder object and plugins is your actual interface. And we have a collection type, it is add from type. In the add from type, we have used a time plugin. In the invoke async method, we just call the time plugin and the rest of the functionality name known as day of the week. Okay. And I'm going to print the result in the current day. So in order to execute this particular code, we need one of the main function, right? So what is the main function? It is, this is the main function. The main function is program.cs is the main function. What I will be doing now, I'm going to call the await method. Await. What is the name of the program? The name of the program. And we have a method known as myTime method. So I'll be calling like this. Await method program 001 myTime. So this is going to execute the time related plugin options. Now let me execute this. .NET run program. Now it is calling the time plugin option. It is going to print the day of the week. So the day of the week, today it is Saturday, it is just printed it. Okay. Likewise, you can build any type of plugin using this particular option. Okay. So similarly, I'm going to explain one of the plugin known as the summarization, conversation summary plugin. Okay. So what is the usage of conversation summary plugin? This is going to summarize the overall conversation. If I want to summarize the overall conversation, then I'll be using the summarization plugin. Okay. So summarization plugin, how to use it is. So here I called one of the own method is my conversation is the user defined method. And same kernel object has been done with the help of create builder class. Then in the connector execution, I used add Azure OpenAI chat completion where you pass 3 parameters. Again, we use the add from type collection type. Instead of this math plugin, what plugin I have used is conversation summary plugin I have used it. So I'm going to pass, this is a syntax. I am a vegan. I'm going to search of a new recipes. I love spicy foods. Give me a list of breakfast recipes that are vegan friendly. Initially, we were asking the question is list of breakfast food with bread and cheese. So now you are specify the existing conversation saying that you are a vegan and you are searching for vegan related recipes. So to get such type of recipe, inside the invoke async method, we just pass the name of the plugin. What is the name of the plugin? It's conversation summary plugin is the name of the plugin. And summarize conversation is the actual action we called it. Inside the action, we are supposed to pass the input followed by the input parameter. Okay. So for this, what I will do, I will invoke my conversation method. I'll invoke my conversation method. Let me execute it. So this time I executed the conversation summary plugin where it is going to print only the vegan friendly recipes. It is not going to print all the recipes, only vegan friendly recipes. It has started executing it. You can see this. The user is vegan looking for a new recipes and mention love for spicy food. And they especially request a list of vegan friendly breakfast recipes. Only this type of summarization it is printed with the help of your conversation summary plugin. So likewise, let me execute the next one is how to create a prompt template. Okay. So in order to create a prompt template, we will be using the Semantic Kernel SDK. When I say Semantic Kernel SDK, Semantic Kernel SDK supports a template language. What is a template language? It is an expression language where it allows all natural language prompt. If I want to allow all natural language prompt, you will be using the prompt template. So in order to embed such type of prompt template expression, you will be using double curly braces. So double curly braces is the actual syntax in order to use your prompt templates in your semantic kernel framework in order to create your own travel agent. So I'm use a travel agent, right? What is a travel agent in our case? Let's go further and see this. So the travel agent here is the program, third program. You can check out the travel agent. So what is a travel agent I have created is, this is the travel agent I have created. I'll comment this. First, I will be executing, sorry, this one I'll comment it. Okay. So with the help of prompt template, what I'm using here, this is a prompt template. The language I say is French. And how to use your prompt template is your curly braces. So I'm mentioning the language is French. And what is the prompt I mention is create a list of useful phrases and words in which language is French. Since I am a travel agent, travel booking agent, so and I am one of the role is traveler is the role. So what are a list of useful phrases for a traveler that could be helpful? Okay, that's my actual prompt here. And this prompt I passed inside the invoke prompt async method, and we used to print execute this particular result. A very simple prompt. Okay. So what I will do, I'm going to execute this my prompt functionality. My prompt functionality .NET run the name of the program. So this is a very basic prompt. It is going to give you some list of helpful phrases. If you're a traveler and the language is French, it is going to provide the list of basic phrases in French. So you can see this. So in French, it says gentle greetings and politeness. Bonjour, good morning, and hello. And you can see merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup is your thank you. And merci is thank you. Merci because thank you very much. And introducing yourself. My name is in English and this is in French. So getting around is one of the helpful phrases. Your transportation, your accommodations, your food and dining, your shopping, your emergencies, times and numbers, useful phrases. So these are useful phrases. So I'll go for advanced prompt with an instruction. So what instruction I'm going to provide now? Let me comment this. So I'm saying now, same prompt. By this time, I have the phrase it is. Create a list of helpful phrases and words in the French language. Then, and the traveler, and the traveler find useful, group the phrases by category and display the phrases in the following format. So for example, hello is the word and this is a way to pronounce it. Okay. And for this one, I use the functionality known as invoke prompt async method and I pass the prompt. So this is with the instruction. So what is the instruction? Earlier, I'm not specifying any particular instruction, but this time I have specified the instruction like the format is like this, hello, and this choco. This is a format I'm going to say in French. So for the same set of words, what I'm going to do now, I'll say .NET run program. Earlier, it is a set of prompt. It is not having how to pronounce it. By this time, I have given how to pronounce it along with the format. So you can see this. Greetings, hello, bonjour. So how to pronounce bonjour? They are given this. Hi, how to pronounce this in French? Good evening, goodbye, as well as thank you, merci, directions, dining. So including your, which one is your way of pronunciation, the format is also mentioned in the prompt template class. So likewise, I'll be explaining the last one is how to make your own persona types. So when I say various types of persona, so persona is nothing but it is like a system assistance. You should start with a one particular greeting and you have maybe user maybe is prompting such type of user defined prompt and the model will think it and accordingly the model started responding to it. Okay. So for a better intent, we use persona and this persona in the background, it is going to execute your large language model. First of all, it will understand the overall context of the prompt and what is the intent it is going to provide, what type of role are you going to use? Are you going to use system messages or it is an assistant messages or user messages? Based upon different types of persona, I'm going to execute it. So in order to execute the different types of persona, what I'll be using is, let me show you the method of persona type. This time I will be calling the persona now. So I have a program persona. Okay. So I'm say prompt with the persona. Okay. So when I say prompt with the persona, I have different types of prompt over here. What is the prompt here? It is language is your French, but this time I have a history. What is the history I'm having? It is I am traveling with my kids. One of the kid is having a peanut allergy. This is a history. Okay, so I have the language ready and the history is also ready. And the prompt I say is that you are a travel assistant. So this is the intent. So there's a system message intent. And you are helpful, creating, you are very friendly. So this message it will print first. And what is the traveler background? That will be fetching from the history section. And what type of language? It is a French language along with these phrases. And after it is completed, it is going to end with, I hope this helps you on your trip. So this type of system messages, your user-defined messages, as well as your system message and assistant messages, if you want to execute it, we will be using the persona type. So I'm going to execute the code now. So in this case, what I'm going to do, .NET, sorry, I'll say .NET run program. So now I'm going to execute this persona type. So this time it is going to act as a persona type. It is thinking like it is a travel assistance. Then it will execute the list of phrases and along with the final end message. See this one. So how it is executing it is, see this one. Here there are some phrases in French you might find helpful, okay, because that is the way we started with. Okay, go to here. So you can say you are a travel assistant, you are helpful, you may be find helpful. So this particular one it is printing as a assistant. It is thinking like an assistant. And food and allergy related phrases, transportation directions, your helpful phrases for families, basic courtesy phrases, emergency phrases, shopping and essentials. Once it is completed, it is given the message saying that I hope this helps you on your trip. And again, it is providing in this format how to pronounce in French. Okay. So likewise, you can define your own persona type. So in order to summarize what we have done is we created initially how to build your own agent in the semantic kernel. We have discussed it. And the second one we discussed with the help of time plugin. Third one we discussed about the conversation summary plugin. And the fourth one we have discussed about the prompt template creation. And the fifth one we talked about the persona types. So these are the major five important capabilities. Using these capabilities, we will be able to build your own agents with the help of your semantic kernel framework. So that's it. Thank you so much. And these are my social handles to connect. And Surab, over to you for questions.
Thank you, Janardhan. Hey, if you guys have any questions, something, please do use the chat box so that we can discuss again. Uh, so the session is almost done, Yong. I see that you were asking about a session. You can definitely watch the recording of the session to get an idea.
I'll paste my handles if you want to connect.
The certificate form will be shared in a minute after the Q&A session. If there is a question, please let's hear that first. And afterwards, I'll be sharing the form that you can fill out. And if anybody is still typing, please let us know, or we'll wait 1 to 2 minutes so that you can type your questions, and then we can have a answer for that, and then we'll move forward with the links where you can join our community and certificate. Anyone having any questions? Okay, think so far no questions. Okay, I will drop the certificate link and also a community link if you guys are interested for the upcoming trainings. And also do check out Janardhan LinkedIn's and giving him some support for sharing his knowledge with everybody else. So make sure you check out his socials and follow him if you guys are okay with it. All right. Thank you everyone. And I've also shared the certificate link. Make sure you fill it out accurately and also join our community if you are interested in the upcoming sessions and trainings that we'll be having. Thank you everyone, and thank you Janardhan for taking the time, joining the session and sharing your knowledge. Really appreciate that, and we hope we'll have you know another session in the future as well. And thank you everyone for joining for a weekend, and learning something new. Hope you have learned something, and make sure you uh, move forward from learning the resources and use on any projects. Okay, that's it, everyone, and have a great weekend. Anything from Janardhan side?
Thank you so much, Surag, and thank you so much for the participants who have taken the time to join in. And we'll meet in some other interesting session.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and see you.